Hello and welcome to the new season of Unsolved Crimes 2017. This season is all about the unknown. Do aliens live among us? Are extraterrestrials beaming people up and experimenting on them? Well, that's what we hope to find out. We have looked at countless crimes, solved and unsolved. Those who believe they were wrongly charged have spoken to us before. This season, however, is a little different. All of the images, videos, recordings you are about to see throughout the season are unedited, found footage. We cannot ask the people involved what happened because the people involved are nowhere to be found or dead. It is up to you, our dear viewers, to decide for yourself what happened in Bridgewell Falls. In October 2015 is when it all began. You're about to see a video that was uploaded to YouTube explaining what happened to a young girl named Lee Smith. Watch for yourself and examine her. Is she telling the truth? Is this all an elaborate hoax? You decide. Hello, my name is Lee Smith and I have created this YouTube channel to expose the truth about what happened to me and about what may happen to you. I'll give you a little background about myself first, and then I'll tell you the harrowing tale about what happened to me. I was studying art at the local university in Bridgewell Falls. I was a grade A student, doing well. I was enjoying my course, made some friends. Not very many friends. I made some friends. My hobbies include watching documentaries about plants and drawing plants. I live with my parents in a semi-detached house, and we've lived there for more than 10 years. I have no brothers or sisters. I'm an only child, and that's basically it. This incident happened about 3 weeks ago, and so far nobody has believed me and won't listen to me, so I'm going to tell the world, which is you guys, what happened. So about 3 weeks ago, it was around 11 o'clock at night and my parents were asleep and I was in my bedroom reading a book about agriculture, and that bit doesn't really matter, but I was reading and then there was this blinding light, like a kind of blue-white light, and I thought it might have been a helicopter going past and kind of shining the searchlight in my window, but when I looked outside there was nothing. Then about 5 minutes later there was another blinding light, and this time there was a noise as well. It was like whispering. It sounded like someone was whispering in both my ears and all around my room. It sounded like there was somebody in my room. Now, of course, my first thought was, let's contact Zach Bagans, but I didn't really have time, because after the whispering happened, I must have blacked out, because the next thing I remember is waking up in Mr. Graham's field about 2 miles down the road, and I had my watch on and it said it was 1 in the morning, so I'd lost about 2 hours when I woke up in that field. You might think, oh well, you're obviously sleepwalking, but no, I've never sleepwalked before or anything like that. And then you might be thinking, well, maybe you did for the first time. No, this was definitely not sleepwalking. I woke up in the field. The clothes I'd been wearing, I still had my Hello Kitty pyjamas on, and the first thing I noticed was there was marks on my wrists and my ankles, like red marks, as if something had been holding my wrists and ankles tightly, like I'd been bound. Yeah, I thought I'd been tied up. That's what it felt like, and that's what it looked like. And it's my recording still. There was a hole, well, not like a hole, like a needle mark in each wrist, like I'd been punctured with something. So obviously I was scared and wondering what had happened. There was nothing around me in the field, just regular grass. There wasn't crop circles or anything to say that I'd been abducted by extraterrestrials. But it was obvious to me that that's what had happened. So I went home, and I rang the police, and the policeman came about 3 hours later and examined me. By then there was no marks on me, and the holes had gone as well, and he chalked it down to sleepwalking. He said I must have been extra tired or something and just left the house and ended up getting woken up by the cold when I got into the field. He was the most unhelpful person. Didn't believe me. I mean, I suppose police wouldn't really think of the alien route when they're doing things like that. But yeah, that's my story. I'm going to be continuing this channel to expose the truth. I'm doing more and more research into this sort of thing, as I'm not going to university at the moment due to stress, so I'm concentrating on finding the truth and exposing the truth. I've been having a few kind of flashbacks to what happened, but I really only remember the light and the whispering, but maybe in the future I'll remember more. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Interesting, isn't it? Next, what you're about to hear is a recording from VEO Industries. It is made by a coroner, Joanne. But you must decide, is it real? She talks about experimenting on a certain creature. Was this really happening just outside this small town? Was this cosmetics company experimenting on creatures from other planets? Once again, it's up to you to decide, dear viewer. Official report of Joanne Strider, 21st of October 2015. The time is 1942. I'm currently working on the autopsy of subject 326. As with the majority of the previous subjects, 326 shows signs of a struggle and lacerations around the throat area. I took blood and skin samples, both of which came back negative for toxins, and recorded the shape and size of the lacerations on the throat. The dimensions suggest the weapon was a long, thin, and sharp tool with a slight curve. The epidermis is similar to the previous subjects, slightly transparent, showing some inner veins and arteries that appear similar to a human's. The eyes are large, approximately 3 inches wide, with no eyelashes, and small pupils, and the mouth and lips are extremely dry and cracked. I'm moving onto the torso of the subject. The chest is slightly concave, as with the other subjects, and the stomach area appears much the same. Again, subject seems malnourished with signs of dehydration too. Dr. Denver's theory of our atmosphere being harmful to the subjects appears to be proven more and more correct every time I examine one. Arms are longer than a human's, reaching to the shins, and the forefingers mirror this. Subject 326 is missing a middle finger on the right hand and part of another on the left. The injuries are jagged and rough, like they were torn rather than cut out. This and the throat lacerations seem to be the only injuries, but I will further investigate with an internal examination in the next session. The thigh muscles are extremely narrow, as are the lower legs, and the feet are large in comparison. Subject 326 has no toes, as with the other subjects I have worked on, and the soles of the feet are rougher than the rest of the skin. I believe the creatures prefer to go without shoes and have therefore adapted this harder, coarser skin on their feet. X-rays reveal that the subject is female. Their reproductive organs are internal and seem to work in the same manner as ours, more or less. The ultrasound shows that subject 326 was recently pregnant, although how long ago I can't tell exactly. I will resume with an internal examination tomorrow, but I believe it will result in much the same way as the others I have conducted have. As with what Dr. Denver first reported, they cannot survive in our atmosphere, but I have no idea why. They have the lungs and capabilities to thrive, but we have never come across a living subject. Autopsy suspended 2109. Joanne Strider signing off. Well, that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're thinking about what could have happened to these people, why it happened. if they're telling the truth. I'll see you next time on Unsolved Crimes 2017. Goodbye.